Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to you, depending on where you are located. Thanks for joining us on this World Kindness Day. I am Himanshu Baral. I'm honored to be the moderator of this panel on reimagining giving with Touch a Life Foundation. I believe the joys of giving is much more than the joys of receiving. Everyone can give something to someone. It can be simple acts of kindness. Today, we have an esteemed panel. Tej Gundavelli is the founder and CEO of Touch a Life Foundation. He is a graduate of UC Berkeley and is currently working as a blockchain developer at PayPal. Under Tej's leadership, the Touch a Life Foundation has expanded from its humble beginnings of helping the homeless students in schools to being a global digital platform. Kishore Gadiraju is Vice President of Engineering at Solix Technologies. Kishore has 20 years of experience in software engineering. He has a proven track record in building highly effective global engineering teams and rolling out many applications in areas of enterprise data management, master data management, and enterprise business analytics. Venkat is engineering lead at Touch a Life Foundation. He has been critical in giving life to the TAL Giving mobile and web platform, leading his team of software engineers to execute product requirements. Anil Kumar is the product manager at Touch a Life Foundation. He has been instrumental in shaping the TAL Giving platform, being involved on a day-to-day basis, designing new product features, improving existing capabilities, and influencing the product roadmap. Priyanka Chaudhari is our product marketing manager at Solix Technologies and has been volunteering her time at Touch a Life Foundation. She leads efforts across product and marketing teams on the positioning, adoption, and expansion of the TAL Giving platform and the associated TAL ecosystem. Thank you all panelists for joining. A little about me. I head the Enterprise Advanced Analytics Lab group at Wells Fargo and lead the data science and data engineering, innovation, big data, and AI ML platforms. I have led engineering, architecture, data science, data engineering, big data management, cloud compute and cloud analytics, and built many on-premises and cloud data warehouses, data lakes, and lakehouse in fintech, financial services, and high tech. I've helped develop over 100 machine learning model apps, evangelized business adoption of AI/ML model apps, and built global teams. As an entrepreneur, I was the co-founder of a Kleiner Perkins and Sequoia Capital funded Silicon Valley high-tech startup company. Through the Chief Analytic Office and Chief Data Office, I have helped large enterprises transform to be more data-driven and act on actionable insights. Now I'll request each of our panelists to say a little about themselves in about 30 seconds to a minute. So would like to hear from Tej, vision for TAL a little later, but let's start with a little introduction. Go ahead, please.
Nice to meet everyone, and thank you for the warm introduction, Himanshu. Today on World Kindness Day, we're just very excited to be presenting the Touch a Life Foundation, the TAL Giving app, and our vision for the company overall, and how we can embrace the spirit of giving. As you mentioned, I started the Touch a Life Foundation back when I was in high school, when it was a nonprofit organization focused on helping the homeless and foster youth within the Bay Area. We started by simply thinking how we can embrace the spirit of kindness and how we can help homeless high school students by giving them simple things such as backpacks, socks, and sweaters, and making sure that they had basic needs available to them. We wanted to give in kind, and we wanted to make sure that people felt as though their basic needs were met and that they could go to high school and focus purely on their studies. And since then, we've worked with nonprofit organizations to see how we can raise funds and how we can help deliver goods to these people in need and how we can identify these people in needs. And we've found that there's a huge opportunity out there for us to connect those who are in need to those who can give. And that's what inspired the Tile Giving app. And that's what has brought this wonderful team together. So in short, this might have started with me, but I'm just one part of this broader this broader team of Tile, and I'm just honored to be here.
That was so wonderful of you to have this great vision, and we see it, your dreams being realized and then playing a wonderful role. And next, let's have a little intro from Kishore.
Thank you, Himanshu. Thank you for the great intro. Again, my name is Kishore. I manage product development at Solix Technologies. And we're also a charter member for Touch a Life organization. And we contribute and support Touch a Life organization in multiple ways. I will talk about it during the presentation today. But I'm personally passionate about using technology for solving problems and bring awareness to social issues and inspire people through various mentorship programs. Today, again, I'm honored to be part of this product panel with a great team, especially the core team from Touch a Life Foundation. And thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you for your wonderful contribution. And with that, we'll go to Venkat.
Yeah, hi. Thank you, Himanshu, for the great introduction. So this is Venkat. I'm leading the engineering team of Tile Giving platform. So it has been more than 1.5 years since we have been building the Tile Giving platform, adding the features that are required that makes the donors and donees use our platform. So our engineering principles are based on scalability, security, and low latency. So I think we have done a pretty good job. So right now, the application is being used by the people, and I'm very glad to see a lot of donations being made, and we are contributing towards making this world a better place through the Tile Giving platform. Thank you.
Thank you for that intro. So let's now move on to Anil.
Yeah, so thank you, Himanshu, for the wonderful introduction. Just to start with, I'm Anil Kumar. I'm the product manager at Touch a Life Foundation, where I see and leads the entire products that comes under Touch a Life Foundation, be the radio or the Tile Giving and all its products. So primarily my focus is on understanding the user experience or bringing in more features that are needed with the vision that Tej and the entire organization has got with, along with the right user experience. This goes with my primary job. But besides that, having said that, I have a decade of experience in multiple domains and industries, along with the more of social entrepreneurship or more of social activities, be it national and international. I pretty much sure that Touch a Life and Tile Giving is something similar, which offers the social entrepreneurship life or the feel of doing something good by working both on product and also on the social service kind of thing for me. Yeah, I'm glad to be here today with all the other panelists and you, moderator Himanshu. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for that wonderful intro. And finally, our only great lady in the team, Priyanka.
Thank you, Himanshu, and all the other panelists who have joined me today on this product panel. I'm really excited to have this conversation with you and bring this knowledge to the rest of the participants today. So a bit about myself. I'm Priyanka, and I've been with Touch a Life Foundation for just over 2 years now. I was privileged that I actually joined Touch a Life at an important moment as they decided to change the way we give back to society today. When I joined, we were in the infancy stages of developing our TAL giving app. And over these few years, there's been tremendous improvement, tremendous new features that have come up with this TAL giving app. And I'm excited to talk about that in today's conversation. So as Himanshu mentioned, I'm in product marketing here at Touch a Life Foundation, and I focus primarily on the product positioning and messaging, not only for the TAL giving platform, but also the TAL ecosystem, which we'll be touching on later on today's panel. Thank you.
Wonderful. So with that, I'm so glad to have this wonderful panel. And so let's touch upon, I'm amazed that Tej had this vision when he was a high school student. And so Tej, would you like to talk a little more about your vision for TAL and the market needs for TAL giving and what we hope to achieve in the TAL ecosystem?
Yes. So what we first saw was a need within the Bay Area to begin with. We saw that people who were my age at the time needed very basic materials, but then very quickly we saw that the ways that they could be helped tended to go beyond money, right? Students needed things like tutoring, or they needed things like medical help, right? And then as time went along, then the COVID crisis came and people's needs started to change a lot more there. People may have just wanted someone to talk to. They may have wanted other kinds of medical attention. Maybe they wanted some kind of plasma donations for COVID help. And so we realized that there was a huge distance between the needs that people had versus the people who were able to give, not just in money, but also in kind and in time. And we wanted to create an ecosystem where people were encouraged to also give in kind and in time. We realized that the same way that social media applications were gamifying our engagement, we wanted to gamify the notion of kindness and actually gamify the idea of spending volunteering hours and actually teaching other people who might not have the same educational resource opportunities that those who can give do have. And so in the process of doing that, we started to engage a community of TAL Scouts. We developed a TAL radio program and decided that we would build an entire ecosystem around kindness and giving so that eventually we can have an entire TAL Touch a Life Foundation based ecosystem where people think about kindness, can increase their kindness points through either social entrepreneurship or towards helping causes, and can finally help support others and grow from that.
That is a wonderful vision and the way things have turned out. And you have literally helped hundreds of thousands of people all over the world through this platform. And you put it so well, you need an ecosystem to build upon it. And it needs, the way we say, like it needs a village to raise a child. You need an ecosystem to build a wonderful platform like TAL. And I'm so proud of what all has been done so far and achieved. And so with that, if I may, I'd request Priyanka and Anil to talk a little about the TAL ecosystem.
Yes, Himanshu, and like you mentioned, I really like the analogy of the village and the child. So similarly, in Touch a Life Foundation, which we call TAL for short, we have the TAL ecosystem. So on screen, you will see the 5 pillars of the TAL ecosystem. Beginning at the top is TAL Giving, which is our digital platform for kindness. It's available both as a mobile app as well as a web application. And you could just simply create an account, start donating, or request for donations in 3 simple steps. So that's TAL Giving, our digital platform for kindness. Anil later will provide you more information and the differentiation factors about TAL giving. The second pillar is TAL Scouts. This program is a youth social entrepreneurship program. It's specifically designed for high school students, trying to inculcate in them the spirit of giving and also adding a business and innovation layer to it through social entrepreneurism. The third is TAL leaders. These are industry experts and influential leaders who are agents of change themselves. We have them as part of the ecosystem because they help us expand our reach, bring us that additional network so that whatever we are doing, even if it's something small, it gets amplified and it's not only localized to one state or one country, it's global in nature. So that's why we have the TAL leaders as part of the ecosystem. The fourth pillar is TAL Radio. So for TAL Radio, it's actually a multilingual live broadcast. It includes shows in English, Telugu, and a lot of other languages that are coming up as well. The shows on one end can be informational, on the other end, it can be purely entertaining. And then on the other extreme, it's all about positivity. For example, there's a show called Power of Kindness that tells you all the good things that people are doing. It's important to note that sometimes in these hard times, especially with the pandemic, every bit of positivity counts, and there's a lot of positivity out there in the world. We just are maybe not aware of it. So this TAL Radio opportunity is to spread that positivity, and it also helps all our donors and donees to raise awareness of whatever needs they have. Through TAL Radio, every single request that we have on the platform, for example, if somebody needs donations for backpacks or somebody needs donations for hygiene kits, this information is being translated and broadcast out through the TAL Radio and TAL media platforms to a large audience to help bring that awareness and increase the chances of getting the funds that you're requesting for. The fifth pillar is TAL Media. This is a resource library of podcasts, videos, and blogs that help to inspire people, because a lot of times we hear things, but we don't act on it. So the TAL Media Resource Library gives you that information about not only inspiring you, but how can you make a difference? How can you start acting? And these are the 5 pillars of the TAL ecosystem. With that, I'll hand it over to Anil, who will speak more about the TAL giving platform itself. Anil?
Yeah, thank you, Priyanka. So like she talked about the entire TAL ecosystem. So we'll begin with TAL giving. So TAL giving is our primary product, or in our entire ecosystem, which is a web and mobile application that bridges the gap between both donors and donees, as in who are in need and those who are willing to give in different forms. Just to start with the differentiating factor of what TAL giving and the rest of the world, it's very simple. So TAL giving offers a help for both donors and donees in different kinds. Like I said earlier, it's not just a cash donation application, but wherein the donors can offer help to any individual or an organization in different kinds. And then they can send a material, or they can tutor someone, or they can help train some dance program maybe, or help them learn math, and also for the COVID help. So we have different type of categories under TAL giving, and it's not just cash donation. So that's something that unique that we have as our solution in TAL giving. And also on the left hand side, if you can see, individual donor and corporate donor are our 2 primary donors of different kinds. Again, any individual who is registered in our platform or not registered in our platform in another way, so they can make donation as just an individual. So for example, me as an individual with my name Anil Kumar, I can make a donation. I can add a request using my name. On the other hand, I can add a request and I can make a donation using my company that I am associated with, or the organization that I am associated with. So let's say XYZ is a company that I work for. So I can raise a request, I can make a donation using my company name or an organization name. So that's how it actually works. So, but not just this, a simple donation or, adding a request as a donee and donor. So we also have a public profile, so which is very unique, and that helps every individual or an organization who is in the platform of tal giving. That's a unique or customized URL or a page that any registered user gets. So that goes like, talgiving.com/Anil Kumar, talgivings.com/XYZ as an organization. So under this page, the individual or the organization can see all the requests that they have created with, or all the donations that they have made, which is easily shareable within their network or outside their network. So, and that can be global. So to continue with, Tal Scouts is another unique program that we have, primarily focusing on more on the students, which is, kind of a volunteering for them, wherein students can pick their interest, as in, if they want to advocate or, market their request or help individuals raise more funds. Individuals, as in, students, there are no restrictions for students. That's one good thing that we have. So any student of any region can come into our platform, given their preferences, as in what they wanted to do or how many hours they wanted to spend, and they can simply choose a request or the type of request that they have, or the type of categories that we have in our application, and get it going, be it advocating the users or helping them write the right content or editing the content that we have, help get the marketing done in right ways, or spreading the awareness on the request or the importance of it within their community or outside their community, using any of the social platforms or the emailers. So that's something Tal Scouts primarily talks about. And to finish with, on the slide that we have Tal Admin. So Tal Admin is something, Venkat covers more on the security aspect that we have. So Tal Admin is more on our internal team. So is with Scouts or few of the, the higher management that we have in Tal Admin section, where the primary focus that we have at this moment in Tal Admin is we verify the donees or the type of requests that they bring into our application, ensures there is no fraud in it, or no bad images or no vulgarity in the request. So that's something that the primary focus or the agenda that we have with the Tal Admin area. Besides that, any issue or any concerns that a donor or donee or any registered user or a non-registered user have, or to want to know about Tal giving, so Tal Admin is someone who can guide, help them in every possible ways. So we talked about Tal giving, and this is something that we wanted to focus in the next coming days. So like I started with cash donation, plasma, and career help and COVID help. The first four on the left side that you can see are the the features or the categories that we have live in the application now. So which means any user can add a request or make a donation on these 3-4 features, on these 4 categories. So the next features or the next categories or the next apps that we wanted to bring in, not necessarily these 6 though. So there are more other apps that we have. So something like pet donation is one, or ask a lawyer, ask a doctor, book donation, or adoption of kids, food wastage donation. So these are these are just not just the categories. So like Tej said, our CEO, in his earlier days or the childhood days, right, he has seen one issue, and and we are here today with a huge platform that helps every individual across the world. So it's not just that one request. So every possible way, or wherever that we find an opportunity or a necessary for an individual that can help them get a smile to their face, or for any individual who feels that they can donate in one or the other way. So we got all these covered in our platform. But to start it with, the left side top 4 that we have, and to move on in the next coming days, our primary focus will be on from pet donation to adoption of kid that you can see on the screen.
This was so well said. And I was just wondering, so like you are enabling through your platform, there are many people who want to help, but sometimes they don't know how. And sometimes they're worried, where will my money go? Will it go to the right cause? So the need for transparency is very important, which you're offering. You're offering a secure platform. I need to know that, like, if I donate through a credit card or something else, that is not misused by anyone, for example. And corporations, they also want to be better social citizens, better corporate citizens. But that you have this mechanism to enable them to know where the money is going, what is happening. And this is a very powerful way of what you're doing. And at the end of the day, it's not just about money, as you all mentioned. Even like someone's health is very important. And if someone can volunteer to help someone from a health perspective or from a legal perspective. No, and if you take the extreme example, they're just saying the earth also needs a law to protect itself. And there are many today in this world ridden with conflicts all over. There are many innocent voices, they are silent. There is no one to represent them, no one to say a word about them. So these aspects of offering some legal help, some health help, and adoption and everything are very powerful, empowering mechanisms that will make a big impact on everyday life of many people, especially the silent and the unheard of. So thank you. With that, let us move on to our, and finally, I would like to hear a little from Kishore and Venkat on some of their thoughts on this.
Yeah, so thank you, Himanshu. From the platform perspective, I can say I'm fortunate to be involved since the inception of this product and brainstormed some of the ideas and implementations of some of these ideas. And with that, I will give you a quick background about what we do at Solix and how it is connected to Touch a Life. At Solix, we develop enterprise software for customers to manage their huge volumes of data. And we have a product called Common Data Platform. And this platform helps customers organize their data, either structured, unstructured, semi-structured data, to help improve overall performance of the system and also reduce the cost, either storage cost or operational costs. And one of the key aspects of the data management is security. And especially with relate to the security, we invest and we research and we implement robust security features into our product. What we did is like, all the experience that we have got with these implementations, we have partnered and shared our experience and provided guidance to the TAL technology team, development team, to incorporate some of the security features into the product. So that way, all the learnings are being used in the TAL giving platform. And specifically, some of the areas include when you perform a transaction online, because we are enabling mobile web applications for TAL giving. When a donor or a donee submits a request, makes donations, we want to make sure all those transactions are secure, either in transit, at rest. All those security features are built into the product. So we ensure the safety and security of the data that we are capturing part of the platform.
Yeah, thanks, Kishore, for that. So, yeah, I'll definitely speak about the various features from technical perspective that we have been building to make the TAL giving platform, secured, scalable, and then low latency. So the last 1 year, we've been working on different aspects. So for example, we've done the push notifications. So whenever there is a new video or audio content uploaded on TAL Media, the users are notified about the new content through the push notifications on web and mobile platforms. And then off late, very recently, we have done a feature called as real-time engagement with text. So here, the donees and donors, they will be able to engage within the app and they'll be able to exchange their conversations. So donors will be able to ask questions, and the donees will be able to immediately respond to them. So that's real-time engagement with text. And also we are going to add a new feature. We've already completed the development of that, but it's going to be released very soon. So that would be real-time engagement with audio. So with the help of this feature, a donee will be able to schedule an audio room, and then he'll be able to share and invite others. So the donors or the users of the platform, they'll be able to see the schedule of these audio rooms, and then they'll be able to join the audio rooms, and then they'll be able to converse with the donee. They'll be able to ask questions, and then the real-time engagement with audio. So this we were able to do using open source technologies like WebRTC, WebSockets. So we are really excited to be able to release this feature very soon. And then I want to talk about some of the strengths, the unique features, the unique aspects of our tile giving platform. So we are using Google Cloud Storage for storing of the innumerable number of images, documents, and videos that are uploaded by the users when they create the donation requests. So every donation request is supported by images and then documents and videos. So the Google Cloud Storage is a scalable and secured solution, which is also used by Google Photos. So it's the same technology that we are using. When users upload an image, we do an image optimization. So we make sure that the images are optimized in terms of memory and also in terms of size. And also one of the security features that we have is we reject bad or obscene images and videos in case they're uploaded by some bad users. So there we are using some Google libraries for artificial intelligence, detect bad videos and images, and then reject them straight away. And then, so one of the important things, we have our own email server. So all the emails that go through the tile giving platform, they go through our own email server. So we have built that email server by ourselves, and making sure this email server is a very scalable solution, is able to process thousands of emails every day. And then I also want to talk about, as Priyanka mentioned, tile radio broadcasting. So that is one of the important features that we developed. So through this tile radio broadcasting, the tile radio admin users, they will be able to schedule the tile radio content. They'll be able to upload the audio content, schedule it, and the schedule or the guide is visible for the users. And then they'll be able to listen to that audio content 24/7 through the tile radio platform. The tile radio platform is offered on the mobile devices, both iOS and Android, through the tile radio app, and also on the web platform as well. And then, yeah, we also have added a feature called as downloading the tile media content. So we have this a lot of kindness audio and video content on TAL Media, and users will have now the ability to download the content and listen to that offline through mobile as well as web platforms. And then, as Anil mentioned, yes, we do have public profile pages for individual users and also for organizations as well. So individual users, they can actually showcase their kindness activities through the TAL Giving platform. They can upload their images, videos, and all the donation requests created by the users we show on the public profile page of the users. And there is a public profile page for organizations as well. So these are some of the few features that we've been, the engineering team has been engaged in developing. And I'm very proud to say that we were successful in delivering them, and then making sure this platform is scalable to hundreds of thousands of users and secured at the same time. Yeah, thank you, Himanshu. Back to you.
Thank you, Venkat. This is amazing, the way you're using state-of-the-art technology, including artificial intelligence, to keep track of the content so it's not misused, because there'll be children and others, and this could be a forum for some bad things perhaps happening. That's a great way of enforcing some of those compliance to our social norms and what we expect in our community. Plus, you offer interactive, two-way communications using different media, be it chat and the applications and the like, and connecting through, as you said, like the text. That's today perhaps the most widely used mechanism for communication is text in the whole world, and then this platform leverages that, so you can reach literally anyone and everyone. And the way you have personalized some of those rooms to interact, as well as the corporations to highlight some of the giving they're doing, that will add pride and more adoption of giving as a means of doing things. So it's great to hear that. With that, let's move on to our next section. We'll talk about the core features of TAL giving. We might have covered a few of them already. And so we will have each of our 5 panelists to maybe spend about a minute or minute and a half, and to speak about some of the core features of TAL giving. And I'll start off with Tej. Why did you focus on enabling cash, kind, and time donations?
I think what we saw was there is a lot of means on the internet for facilitating cash transactions. If you take a look at GoFundMe or even some kind of the Stripe donations that are out there, it's very easy to just move pure money. But when it comes towards giving kind and giving time, there's very few ways to actually find out how can I actually help others that are there within my community or they're abroad, right? And so what we wanted to do was to build an application that really reflected what the giving experience was like. And to us, giving went beyond just pure money transfers. Again, if you are a software engineer, there's so many more ways that you can contribute than just through giving money. You can also do it by providing data science skills towards helping nonprofit organizations. If you're a doctor, there's several kinds of help you can do to people beyond giving money. There's also ways in which you can actually treat patients. Medical treatments such as dentistry is very uncommon and is not as readily available to those who are underserved than those who easily have access to it and have the means to do so. And so our focus, our main focus was how do we capture all of the aspects that go beyond just pure money? Because there are so many ways that you can enrich someone else's life and enrich your own life by being in service of another person and actually using your talents towards the greater good.
Very well said, Tej. Thanks a lot for that. And let's move on to Kishore. How is the Solix team providing guidance to TAL on security?
Yeah, so we briefly talked about some of the security features we have incorporated into the core product and how we are sharing that knowledge and experience to the TAL development team. And some of the unique nature or features of the TAL giving platform. Like now, if you see it, like first and foremost, like bringing awareness of any social issue can be done by anybody. That is a huge impact from my perspective. Now, any member or anybody who has access to the mobile application can bring awareness into the platform, and thousands and millions of people can see it. So that's the first and foremost huge unique capability coming into the platform. That's the first one. And the second one is, and the awareness in the sense, the connecting, in real time, connecting the donors and donees in real time, and making that information available, making it transparent, making it secure. And those capabilities are really making a huge difference and making it unique from the platform perspective. And third one is the funds donated on the platform is 100% reaching to the donees, and absolutely 100%. Those are all the unique things are being enabled in the platform, and so that the beneficiary is really reaching and getting all the benefits out of the platform. And from the Solix perspective, as I said, we are Cater member, and we involve in brainstorming the ideas and finalizing discussions with the technology decisions and sharing our experience. Primarily in the security, talked about how we encrypt data while we are transferring the data between endpoints, from different end users into the platform. And Venkat talked about how do we eliminate any unnecessary content, and we also encrypt data at rest. So that's one of the biggest challenge for organizations these days, to protect the data. So we basically bring enterprise scale security protection features into the platform. And lastly, and this platform is enabled for thousands of users. It's very easy to onboard and become a member. And I think Priyanka talked about it, and Venkat talked about it. Anil talked about it. There are many, many roles to play. And specifically one role that kind of comes to my mind is the admin role. So because this is a social media platform and anybody can access and everybody has access to it, and there's a potential for misuse. And while by using technology, we are restricting and filtering out a lot of things, but still we have an admin role. Every request comes to the platform is being properly screened, reviewed, and approved before it goes and hits to the rest of the world. That kind of a role and feature functionality comes to my mind as one of the other unique feature. So with that, back to you, Himanshu.
Thank you, Kishore. I think very well said about how holistic this platform is, and especially when it's 100% of all the donations go straight to the cause, and not a penny is kept aside for whatever reason. And now we'll do a little quick rounds like Anil. Now we'll start with Venkat. What is one feature you're proud of that was developed in 2021? And the same question for Anil after that.
Yes, Himanshu. So there's so many features that I've talked about, and each feature brings some of the value to the users to make this platform a better platform for bridging the gap between donors and donees. But if you ask me one single feature, then I would choose real-time engagement with audio, using which we developed using open source technologies. So people will be able to join the audio rooms and then converse with each other, engage with each other, get their questions clarified, and then that would help the donee reach a bigger audience, and then increase the scope of donations for the donation requests created by the donee. Real-time engagement with audio.
Wonderful. And Anil, what is the one feature you're very proud of?
Yes, Himanshu. So one feature that I am proud of is definitely email campaign. So email campaign as an any individual or an organization who was, who are registered in TalGiving platform can send an email to thousands of users in one single go. This is very different with the regular share to email feature that every other platform, irrespective of industry, has got it. This is more like a Gmail within our platform. So a registered user, be it an individual. So this is more like a Gmail feature or any other mailer services within TalGiving platform, where any registered user, be it an individual or an organization, can choose the request that they wanted to email it to their entire database, in be it in 1,000 or 5,000 or 10,000 or even more, with a more of customized content. Other than the simply choose a request, select the contacts they wanted to send, be it their contacts or the previous donors of TalGiving platform. They can edit the content as they wanted to, and then they can simply send the email to thousands of users. So instead of going back to their regular emailers, copy the content, copy the images or copy paste the URLs of the request, they can simply do it in using our platform. So this is something I'm really proud of, and I'm hoping this helps a lot of individuals or even the organization make wonders in sending their emails to huge databases. Yeah, thanks, Himanshu.
That is wonderful. Like someone had said that if half of our world, each one at a time, could, the more privileged one half of the world could do little something for the other half, our world will be very different. All we have to do is take care of one person. Okay, and I think this platform does enable that through its scalability and through all the features you laid out. And finally, let's get some thoughts from Priyanka. Like, what differentiates you or this product from its competition?
Yep. So one of the main things is, like at the beginning, we talked about the TAL ecosystem. And why that's important is Venkat, Kishore, Anil have developed the product, have put in a lot of features in it. But then how does that feature actually empower our users to make a difference or to get funds or to contribute to society? So that whole TAL ecosystem piece actually differentiates us, because the way we designed all these features was keeping all our users in mind. So of course, on a high level, we see what is needed for donors and donees, because each has different requirements. For example, donees might just want something simple. In 3 steps, you can put up your request and get the funds. But for a donor, it might be that flexibility to really choose from a diverse range of things that they can participate in, they can donate in. So be it cash kind of time. So donors and donees have different preferences. We use that to really design the features and make us different from competition. The user experience is different. So that's on one level. Then the next level is internally, we have 6 different personas that we focus on, and we want to make sure that we meet their requirements. So the first is the youth. So these would be high school students. High school students, there can be 2 types. One are those who are really passionate about giving back to society. They want to get into this journey. They are very, as mentioned, passionate, energetic, as well as a lot of innovation and drive in them. So they want to see what they can do with the TalGiving platform. And the second group of youth or high school students are those who have never been exposed to giving, never been exposed to sharing or spreading kindness. So the platform enables us to work with both type of youth. when we design this tile giving platform, as well as the whole tile ecosystem, we want to start from young. We want to inculcate the spirit of giving and give opportunities for these high school students to shine in whichever way. If they want to join us within the engineering team as an intern or a summer project, or whether they want to join us in product marketing to learn more about how they can craft messaging. We give them these opportunities and we design the experience for them. So that's what differentiates us also from the other competition, where it's just maybe a very transactional relationship. Here we're trying to build that whole ecosystem. So youth is one of the personas. Second is the leaders. These are the inspirational, influential people I talked in the beginning. We also designed the whole platform in a way that these leaders are able to scale it up and use it to bring awareness. So for example, for today, this panel is for World Kindness Day, and we are focused around the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals. So the tile giving platform lets you be your donor, donee, individual, corporate. You're able to amplify the impacts and match it to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So we have used that also in the way we design the platform. The third is working professionals. We realize that you may have individual and corporate interests. Sometimes they're aligned, sometimes they're not. And the platform allows you to have that multiple persona. So then, whatever you really want to contribute towards, it's taken care of. You have those options. The fourth is the corporates. So we also have taken into account, what do corporates need to meet their corporate social responsibility needs? What do corporates need to meet their ESG scoring, environmental, social governance? So in order to meet those scoring metrics requirements, we have developed these statistics within the platform itself. So then that way it's a single platform. You can run all your corporate social responsibility programs. You can match it to the employees and bring it a step further. So this is something that I'll also cover in the roadmap section, but this is where directionally we are going to be different from the other platforms. The fifth and sixth are nonprofits and schools. We also work very closely with them, both in US and India, to understand what their requirements are. Because each of this group of institutions have their own requirements. Again, this influences the user experience that we have. So like the team talked about the different features, and Himanshu, you asked how can we differentiate? So that differentiation piece is because we have targeted the whole user experience based on different personas, keeping in mind what is it that they need to make an impact faster and smoother.
Thank you so much, Priyanka. And there's so much wonderful things. And now that many of you have spoken about high school students, how to empower them, how this platform enables them to do really wonderful things. And I'll relate a story that I was involved with. I have helped US high school girls in setting up a nonprofit organization called MORES, Medical Care Organization for Rural Societies, to train the rural, tribal, poorest of the poor high school girls as nurse technician trainees in the state of Odisha in India. These villages have no drinking water, no roads, no electricity, no doctors, and no nurses. This was launched by 2 US high school students in 2010 with the help of an NGO. The village girls were trained in the use of stethoscope, oximeter, blood pressure measuring device, etc. during free health camps. Many doctors, nurses, and pharmacists came in as volunteers. These girls took care of the basic primary healthcare needs of their own villagers, especially the village elders. One beautiful outcome was that when these girls got married a few years later and moved on to other villages, they took those skills as nurse technician trainees and spread the caring in those villages. These girls were awarded small scholarship money, which helped them to focus more on their studies and not drop out of school, as many do to support their families even at young ages in those very poor rural areas. So we did not have a platform like TAL. and had to spend long hours finding and meeting with the various volunteers, the beneficiaries, media, local school teachers, local community members, NGOs, etc. Now, with the widespread use of the phone and the smartphone, that appears to be a rather inefficient way of doing that. The TAL platform and product would have been a blessing to connect volunteer doctors, nurses, and pharmacists with the village teachers and others, and as well as raise more funds and get the media buzz to encourage other groups to do so. So now I see how powerful this platform would have been if we had access to it. So with that, let's move on to our next section. We'll talk about use cases and the specific use cases that benefited from the TAL platform. And I will request each member to maybe spend a minute and a half or a little longer. And then I'll request Tej, followed by Kishore and Anil, to speak of some use cases that benefited from the TAL platform. And let's start with Tej.
Thank you. So as you mentioned, the TAL platform, where it really works is, again, helping those who are in need with those who can provide, and with those who can help. And we really saw needs within a specific area within India for blind schools. A TAL volunteer, Kavita Verma, she actually posted on the TAL application about this blind school. It's called Antarjyoti Balika Vidyalaya. It's a free residential school exclusively for blind girls ranging in ages of 6 through 18, ran by the Bihar Netrahin Parishad in Bihar, India. And the majority of these girls, they're born visually impaired. They aren't really given much resources within society to actually be able to take care of themselves. And what the TAL Giving application was able to do was actually raise around $19,000 worth of funds to help 35 girls within that school, and help them fund their own education as well as their own learnings within singing and dance. And I think this is just one way in which the TAL Giving application is so powerful, because not only do we think globally across the different forms of kindness, but we encourage people to think in a global scale when it comes to giving, not just thinking within their own areas, but learning about issues that might be there across the world, and to really empathize and connect with people who can live a whole hemisphere away.
Thank you. Very well said, Tej. And I will ask the same to Kishore to talk about some use cases that benefited from the TAL platform.
Great. Thank you. See, as a charter member, right, while we are supporting Touch a Life organization, not only from sharing the technology and experience, we also participate and contribute some of the social issues. And one of them, which is close to me, again, I will share my experience in the story. I think all of you know what happened in the last couple of years. I think the COVID has impacted big time, pretty much, impacted a lot of economies, communities, and families. And at Solix, we have close to 300 plus volunteers, and they're all involved in various volunteer activities, different Touch a Life events. And what happened is, because of this impact of the COVID, they have identified some of the local communities which are really impacted because of unplanned government shutdowns, unable to travel because of the issues with transportation, and they're really not able to take care of their families. So our volunteer team look at some of these impacted communities and identified some communities, and they have started a campaign and raised funds and procured all the required groceries, and they packaged it. And most importantly, personally, they went and distributed all these groceries to the impacted families. And I'm really proud of our team for participating in a very tough time, because at the time, people are really even scared to go out and meet people. And during those tough times, people personally went there, distributed these groceries for all the impacted families in that area. And I'm really proud of our team. And I would like to thank all the team members involved for participating and making a difference.
That was so wonderful. And if I can say, someone has said that try to make sure to help someone in such a way that the person can never repay back. So these are some examples that you're trying to do, and that makes me feel so proud. And thank you. And finally, let's hear from Anil about some use case that has benefited from the TAL platform.
Yes, Himanshu. So one of the use case that I would talk about is, during these COVID times for the last 2 years. More importantly, just few months back, maybe, say 5 or 6 months back, when we had a second lockdown here in India and in Hyderabad at least. So we had a very good number of volunteers in TAL giving. Primarily, their focus is only on the COVID help, the feature that we have, irrespective of whether the user adds a request in our platform or not. So they always have an option to connect us via email or call or SMS to our volunteers and to the team of our COVID help, the group. Uh, it's not just the cash donation that we have helped them, but there are few cases where they ask for, the breakfast services or, ambulance services where it was very tough for someone to find an ambulance or even a hospital bed. So our group of volunteers had this entire details of close to 70, 80 odd hospital details or the ambulance services, the food delivery services, everything that comes under COVID health requirements. So using this entire database and the services that we, come in every day from different donees or, different users. So we quickly responded to them via online, via email, SMS, and also using our TAL giving platform and ensured their safety. And also we have followed up with them, maybe 2 days or 3 days post the requirement and ensured, how well it went on. So that's something that I am actually proud of, and that's the best use case I have so far seen. More than the cash donations that we have seen in the entire platform, because it is just a phone call, or maybe a help that we gave the user is giving a contact number or connecting one user to another user via SMS, and that actually helped them, live their life, because it's hard for them to go out, find a shop, or find a vehicle to travel. So that's something that we have seen benefited a lot of users out there. Yeah.
This is such a touching story, and the world knows what happened in India during the second wave. And as you said, there were no ambulances, there were no one, and even people could not go near some of those who passed away. And in their saddest, most distressed state, what you guys have done through the platform and actual volunteering is my hats off to that. So with that, let's move on. I'll relate a story. We have been talking about the global impact that the TAL platform is producing. And let me tell you a little story. I was part of a team that helped college students create, and we're part of the US a volunteer team of doctors and medical students who provided medical care after Nepal's devastating 2015 earthquake, if you might recollect. I was part of two teams that set up free health camps in 2015 and 2017 in the Himalayan mountainous villages at or near the epicenter of the earthquake. We had to recruit volunteer doctors, medical students, and residents from universities in the San Francisco Bay Area. This was a big undertaking with some fundraising done by medical students, donations by universities, and by individual sponsors. There was a lot of logistics with the travel of a team of 15 from the US and 15 Nepalese doctors and dentists and nurses that helped us locally. The procurement of medicine supplies from the US and Nepal, as well as the journey to those remote areas on SUVs through rivulets, narrow mountain roads, was a daunting task. we held an international cultural fundraising event in Kathmandu that raised $25,000 to rebuild the destroyed village schools. We also held a couple of evening cultural events to bring a little cheer to the impacted villagers. We built impromptu stages under the open night sky. And looking back, the TAL platform would have been immensely helpful to us. So that is great to know. With that, let's spend the last few minutes on what we have in mind for TAL. And I'll request each of our panelists to spend a minute or so in the thoughts to where they envision, if they had a genie and could make a wish, where they would take this platform to. And we'll start with, as always, with Tej, followed by Kishore, and Venkat, Anil, and Priyanka.
Our goal is really to expand the possibilities on the TAL platform and the TAL ecosystem. And what that means is finding better ways that nonprofits can advertise themselves through social media marketing, finding better ways for them to connect to corporate donors, finding new forms of funding mechanisms that are available through our TAL Wines program, and then finally finding new ways for people to volunteer and learn social entrepreneurship through our TAL Scouts program. And we believe that it's not just one approach, but it's all of these approaches working together in harmony that will be what creates a very unique ecosystem that's centered around kindness and that makes people excited about helping others.
Wonderful. And Kishore, so what's next for TAL Giving from a platform and ecosystem perspective?
So as you can hear from a lot of the panelists, right? So there's a lot of enhancements, improvement has been made. I think they're all wonderful. I think it's been in action and people are using it. It's still great to see all these improvements. And going forward, it is one area that, again, it's in my vision and of course, like, been in brainstorming and team already started in the direction, but my vision for the TAL platform going forward is to create a marketplace and basically expanding the current product, create a marketplace where all the existing users, organizations can basically sell some unique, innovative products on the platform, and they can contribute a portion of the sales proceedings to the social issues. And this will be a great platform because we have a reach to a lot of people through the platform, and everybody have visibility and access to buy some of these products on the platform. And it's kind of a win-win for both the organizations and also the beneficiaries. So I see a big opportunity, and I see there's a good future for that kind of a marketplace on the platform. I think we should just continue to invest and look at more opportunities in that area.
Awesome. Venkat, would you like to talk about like what's next for TAL Giving and including use of artificial intelligence?
Yeah, thank you, Himanshu. So yeah, definitely I have a lot of things I foresee, a lot of features which would add more value to the users on the TAL Giving platform. One of them would be to be able to build a donor profile. So the system will be able to know the interests of the donor and present him the appropriate donation opportunities that he is interested in. So this will be able to do it through machine learning, learn the interests of the user and present him the appropriate donation requests. And then I would like to see crypto donations on our platform. So people will be able to donate through other cryptocurrencies like BTC, Ethereum, or Litecoin, or other cryptocurrencies, with the help of which we'll be able to reduce the transaction costs drastically. And then I would like to see more advanced search capabilities. So users will be able to search based on categories or based on tags, and then they'll be able to see the results. And then we want to add more advanced filters also, so that people will be presented with the right content that they are interested in. And then, sorry, Himanshu?
No, please continue.
Yeah. And then the last thing that I would like to add is adding weights to donation requests. So based on the weightage, based on various criteria like most donated, most liked, most commented. So these are the different criteria by which we want to present the donation requests. So most relevant donation requests will be appearing on the top. So these are the kind of things that we want to add to the platform to make it a better one.
Fabulous. So this is amazing. So you will actually perhaps take a look at some of the behavior of some of the donors and match them with the most likely beneficiary, the donees, and you could also have like a recommendation, of sorts, using machine learning as to what someone might do or may not do, and maybe rank order some of the recipients for certain causes. This is fabulous. And with that, let's speak a little with Anil, on the what's next with respect to the marketplace and the ecosystem.
Yep. So Himanshu, we have three quick things to start with the next coming days. So one is making requests private or public. So which means at the moment, any request that comes in our application, that will be public, which means any individual can see it, be it on social media or in our tile giving platform. But when we have the option of making it private, so that means a user can have the option to have particular email IDs, so that only those email IDs can see it, or only the users who have the particular link can be able to view it. So this helps individual to feel more safe or secure, or maybe they want to make the request or make their requirement public. That's something that we wanted to bring in to our platform. Second is kindness point reward system. So we already have kindness point scoring system in our platform uh, that gives any individual, any registered user to get some points in tile giving platform, right from login, registration to making donations, sharing, liking, reviews, for everything, for every activity. So now we wanted to give or add the reward system for the existing kindness points, which means, they can redeem the point that they have, be it the coupons or, or any gift cards. So this is more like, giving back to someone who gave back to the society. This is something that we have in mind from a longer time, but we are thinking maybe this is the right time to at least to start working on that in the next coming days. And the third and the last one is CSR for corporates. So as you know, right, every corporate has their CSR wing within their organization, helps in different forms. But it's always tough for them to identify the right categories or the budgeting or the teams that they wanted to work with, especially the global teams. So within the tile giving platform, we're bringing in the CSR category for all the corporates across the world, wherein they can have their teams choose a type of request that they wanted to work on. They can specify the budgets. They can have their preferences as in the categories, uh, the number of requests that they wanted to work on. Any individual can join their teams who represent their organization from other locations. So this is something that we wanted to focus on, particularly on the corporates, to give back to their society using our platform. Yeah, so these are the three things, Himanshu, that I have, to focus on in the next coming days.
That's awesome. And then last but not the least, we'll have Priyanka tell her a little to us about expanding the reach of corporations.
Yes, so to what Anil said, definitely there's a lot of features that we are going to be developing for corporates. From my perspective, the additional angle we are adding is the CSR reporting metrics and ESG reporting metrics that I talked about. So ESG would be environmental, social governance. And the reason why we're incorporating this into the platform and that differentiates us from the others is because there's a lot of interest by investors and general public on these reporting metrics and how you can use it to assess a company. So that's something that's in the roadmap as well from us.
Fabulous. And with that, I think we'll bring this to a little conclusion. And I hope this session will be very informative to our audience and convey the power of this TAL platform and how it can make their lives a little easier to purposefully participate in meaningfully helping others and communities and making a world a little better, one act of kindness at a time. I wish to thank our great panelists and you all for watching this with us. Thank you.